Hello and welcome to Surely Not Everybody Was Kung Fu Fighting. My name is Sifu Steven Parrella and I'll be your host. I won't be your host. Tonight's a special edition of Surely Not Everybody Was Kung Fu Fighting. My senior student, Damon Milne, we call him hing Damon, has decided it's time to interview me. So we're reversing positions.
I don't like that.
He's going to interview me and Damon will be the host and Damon will ask me the questions and we will talk all things Kung Fu, all things Chow, all things training, a little bit of my history and what I've done. Yeah?
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
Well, let's go. What do you got for me?
Nothing.
I'm back. All right, we're back. All right, let's be serious.
Yeah.
But first, before we start, First, a huge thank you to everybody who has joined our Facebook page and our YouTube page. Please subscribe if you're watching, if you're new to this channel. On our Facebook page, we reached 4,000 members the other day, 2 days ago. We went viral. 2 videos went viral with over 75,000 views. So we appreciate that. We're new to this technology thing. We're very old school. For the last 40 years, I've trained the old traditional way and followed the traditional path of Chinese martial arts. And you've loved that as well.
Yeah.
So now we are delving into the digital world. Chow Mantis system has been a very mysterious, hidden system for a long time.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Oh, 100%. A lot of people have heard of it, but almost no one knows of it, as in the deeper...
Not in full scale.
No.
Like
doesn't even show up in a lot of Kung Fu films.
I don't have hardly at all. Do you see it? I think there's maybe one film.
Yeah.
You know, and another film where it's mentioned.
Yep.
It doesn't show up at all. So it's very secretive. It's well known in Hong Kong. It's well known in certain parts of the world. So that the hub points where this system has grown probably the most, but it's still quite small, is Brisbane.
Yep.
Now Gold Coast, which
Australia.
is only 1 hour away. Brisbane, Gold Coast, Australia. Obviously Hong Kong, where it started, is very well known in Hong Kong and still being taught there. England, London, and a few other places. Europe, but the hub is Hungary. The hub is London. The hub is Hong Kong. The hub is Brisbane. These are the hubs where these main teachers have been spreading this system. And that's where
anywhere it's established, it's highly respected. It's highly regarded.
It is, yeah.
So you've got to think about all of the different Kung Fu styles you have in Hong Kong, and this system is highly regarded.
I actually found out, funny thing is I found out from that student who came from New Zealand, Zoltan. He started training back in the 80s or the early 90s, and he told us that the Chow system in one form or another has been in Hungary since the 60s.
Yeah, wow.
Now that's the same as Brisbane, since 1960-ish.
Yep.
It arrived in Brisbane. Hong Kong obviously has been going for, since the 20s. Since the 1920s when Lao Soi, our Sijou, which is our founder, came to Hong Kong. So that's when Hong Kong started, it would have been in the 20s. And then London was about 1975, where the Grand Master's son, Ip Chi Kung, went to London and started teaching there. And it's just grown from there. So you have these little pockets, London, Hong Kong, Brisbane, Hungary, Budapest. In Hungary, these 4 places have been around for a very long time. Obviously Hong Kong the most. But yeah, so there's a little bit of Chow history. Not many people know about it. It's not spread worldwide. There are places in New York.
Yeah,
there was a place.
Yeah, yep.
There's a few other places now that teach it around Europe. Not much more in Australia than Brisbane and the Gold Coast.
No, not truly anyway. There's lots of branches off of the original system.
Actually, you're right. Sorry, I'll say that again. The original system is only taught Brisbane and the Gold Coast, but there are other factions that teach a version of Tonglong or Chow Tonglong.
Yeah.
And look, nothing against that whatsoever.
Oh.
You know, Chow Tonglong, and I've said this for many, many years, even in any version of it, is a really good fighting self-defense martial art. It doesn't matter what version of Tonglong that you teach. Yeah, obviously there's so much to learn.
100%.
And there's more you can learn, but whatever version of Tonglong that there is around, or Chow Tonglong, is a really, really effective fighting style. And there are many, many people that will tell you who've trained under various masters who've used this martial art and have said, this is an amazing...
Even at a low level or an
mid-level,
early sort of introductory understanding,
great
it's highly effective.
Great fighting style. Self-defense fighting style for the street. This can't work in a ring.
No, it's
we'll
not
talk
a ring
about that a
sport.
little bit later. So ask me a question about the difference between sport martial art.
I've got those questions. So.
Have you? Yeah, sport martial art and traditional fighting martial arts, or not even traditional, just a fighting martial art.
Yeah.
There's differences, and we'll talk about that really soon. Yeah, okay. So, Chow Ga, what do you want to know, Damon?
So yeah, I mean, I think off the back of what you were saying, you've put up a couple of videos recently which, you know, had a bit of virality to them. You know, lots of comments, lots of likes, lots of shares, that sort of thing.
Probably, I think the most we've ever seen for Chow Ga. I mean, 75,000 views.
On just one video.
200 plus shares, 300 comments. We had 1,500 plus, likes on just the one video. Then the next one, 2 days later, got the same, 75,000. So this is fantastic numbers for us guys because it's a very small community, the Chow Ga Tonglong community.
And we're trying to get the information out there.
Look, our job, and you agree with me with this because this is the direction I want to take, my job and the people who follow me's job is to spread this martial art far and wide. It is such a good martial art. I've done this since I was very, very young. I've taught thousands of people over many, many years. It is such a good martial art for many reasons. Don't just think fighting. Yeah, fighting, yes. Health.
100%.
Strength.
Yeah.
Strength of body, strength of mind, like your mental power, your discipline, your focus, your the benefits are innumerous, and this is why we want to spread it. Like this is a good thing. It is not a destructive thing. This is an uplifting martial art. This is a martial art that can make people better people.
And it's a martial art that deserves to be spread. It deserves more recognition, and it deserves more, more people to know about it.
Yeah.
Because it has all of those benefits to it, and because for so many years it's been quite secretive, hidden,
very secretive,
and it's been very closed door. Almost no one has talked about this.
Well, let's ask this question. Well, you ask it of me because you're the host.
Sure.
Why? You ask me. You ask me why.
So,
why has it been hidden for so long?
So, Sifu, a lot of people want to know, and a lot of people won't understand why this system has been hidden and so sort of closed off and secretive for so long. Okay.
So, in Chinese culture, this is what I have been taught over 40 plus years of training. There's a thing called the Zhuga Daji, which means the normal public student of a martial arts school. So when you go and train at a martial arts school, you train, it's called Zhuga Daji, which is the outhouse student, the student of a public school.
Sorry, Sifu, someone that basically just goes to the standard basic classes.
Yeah, like a hobbyist, like just someone who comes and trains normally.
Yeah.
Then there's a different type of student in Chinese martial arts, which is called the Yapsat Daiji, which is what they call the in-house student. And an in-house student, which usually there's not many. In the past, like if we go back a couple of 100 years or maybe 100 years even, there's maybe one. Yeah, maybe two, maybe one. These days there's slightly more, of these people. They're called in-house students, and that's when the teacher takes you under his wing and starts spending more time and extra attention on you, teaching you privately, teaching you more about the system and about the Kung Fu than you would normally learn in a normal class. You know, every martial arts school has its main classes, and then there's always those students who show extra keenness, extra maybe ability, extra fondness for the martial art. They love it. They want more. Like the biggest thing is, I think, the want. Like you've got to want it. If you want it, you'll ask questions, and like you do every day.
Annoying.
Yeah, every day I get a beep, beep, beep on my phone. What about this, Sifu? It's like, oh.
I know he's seen it.
I'm always happy to get those messages and reply to them as fast as I can. But yeah, so we always had these two sections of the martial arts. This goes deep, deep, deep through back to the Shaolin Temple. There's many, many years that they worked this out. So then the people who became the Yapsat Daji, the in-house students, there were only a very few of those people. They always got taught the extra special sauce, the extra special stuff, the stuff that made you much more powerful, much faster, a much more rounded martial artist, had much more information, and the fighting skills increased immensely to these people. You know, and these people are very few and far between in our system. There's only a small handful of people like this that were closed door students of any of the grandmasters. And so as a closed door student, there's only a small handful.
Yeah.
Chinese culture is funny like this because it will always, the teacher, different to Western culture, the teacher in Chinese culture will always, I won't say always, because this is not always the case, but will a lot of the time hold back, will keep themselves always a little bit of information right to the end until maybe on the deathbed. And then if you're good enough, they'll show you, and if they don't, they die too early or if they die prematurely, they won't show you. We're very lucky because our grandmasters lived to a ripe old age. Our grandmaster Ipsoi died at 93, if I remember correctly. Our grandmaster, current grandmaster NCK, is now 86. So they're living nice, healthy, long years. There's been no mishaps, knock on wood, thank God. So they're more likely to, in their old age, to pass on the highest levels of the Kung Fu. So this has been a big thing. So if a master does die prematurely, then they take a portion of that martial art with them because they will teach over, let's say, 30, 40, even 50 years. And they will pick certain students to be the one they show everything to.
Or even in the case of Grandmaster NCK, like that's a longer period again. And we're lucky that he's so generous and, has that character where he's willing to, show, and he has a very good following for, many reasons.
Yeah.
And his students love him.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's so much. And questions beget more questions.
There's so much.
Yeah.
Like, you not only need a good teacher who's at that age where they're willing to pass on all that information, the last section of it, which is huge.
Yeah.
But also the student who wants it. Because I'll tell you right now, there are a lot of students who
say they want it.
Maybe say they want it, but don't want it, or can't do what it takes to get there.
Or haven't trained diligently enough.
So
that when the time comes, what they're shown, what they're passed on, it doesn't translate into their body. It doesn't translate into their skill.
You can learn something high level and not be able to do it.
Yeah.
It's too far past your level.
Yeah. Or you'll only be able to do it, at a particular understanding where you understand things to be.
Yeah. Which could be really superficial.
Yeah.
And that's what happens to a lot of people. And look, that's just the way it is. There's obviously cultural reasons for this, why they take their time to show these high level stuff. Because some of the martial arts stuff that we learn at the high level is really deadly. And when I say deadly, I mean like you're snapping necks. You're destroying people. And it's not a technique thing. It's not about yes, there are techniques that are very lethal, You have to have a certain type of character to learn this stuff. But the power that you get from the high level internal training, and this is not lifting power. This is not that you can lift a heavy weight. This is striking power and tearing power and ripping, grappling power.
The ability to damage joints, and so that the person you're essentially fighting, they're not going to be the same afterwards.
They'll never be the same, no.
Yeah.
And so you have to have a person who's got, number one, a good heart. You've got to have a person who's got a good temper, who, you know, won't use this martial art in an aggressive way, won't be a bully. This takes years to find out. Like, I've had students who you don't know what they're like until maybe 10 years later or 15 years later. You see them twice a week or 3 times a week. You can't just show them deadly techniques and then they go out somewhere and they
pick a fight,
kill someone or damage someone. How'd you learn that? Well, I learned it from this guy.
But there's been cases of that historically in the past where
it has.
You know, someone has used this.
This makes a teacher more withholding because if there's one of his students goes out and causes major damage or kills someone or really permanently hurts someone, he blames himself because he didn't teach that person properly. Taught the person the kung fu properly. And great, he used it, but didn't teach him how to. You got to have a tremendous amount of control with the kung fu. Tremendous amount of control. My Sifu used to say to me all the time, he used to say, now that you're getting much more powerful, you've got to be very careful, son. That's what he used to call me, son. You've got to be very careful, son. Be careful with your power. Never use full power. Always temper your power. Be careful. You will cause internal damage to someone. You'll hit someone in the chest and give them a heart attack. You'll accidentally punch someone in the liver and the liver stops working. You know, you'll hit someone and cause brain damage, or you'll pull someone's arm and the arm will come out of the socket. You know, do you remember back in the school a few years ago, I was doing I was showing a new technique. It was a kicking technique to the ribs. And I was showing one of the students, and this student had been with me for...
Better part of 5-6 years,
Yeah, probably? I was going to say 5 or 6 years, yeah. So I thought I would demonstrate to show this technique, and it was to me, it was the lightest of kicks that I could do to someone's ribs because it was only a demonstration of the technique, not of the power.
It was incredible. I remember being there and I was just looking at it like, Jesus, that's...
Nothing. Like
it was almost like you were just demonstrating and placing.
I just would have touched the person, that sort of, in my mind, that sort of power. But I was, you know, this is a few years ago now, and I wasn't new to teaching. I've been teaching all my life, but I was new to this tremendous amount of power that I've been training and still learning to temper it so that I didn't hurt people. But I did think that this student was strong enough to handle it. And more conditioned. And more conditioned, and it was a lighter kick. We didn't see that student for about 3 months, and I finally gave him a text message, or I think a call, I can't remember now. And I said, what's happened? And he said, Sifu, you broke my ribs. And I've been out for 3 months because I'm healing.
Yeah, it was like a multiple fracture.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I said, I was so devastated because, you know, I take pride in looking after my students and not hurting them and showing them good kung fu. You know, the hurt that we do when we spar is very minimal. And I take pride in being able to temper and control my movement and my technique. So to hear that was almost devastating. And I've been obviously much more careful in the future. But going back to this is some of the reasons why stuff is held back or hidden. And it's become part of the culture, Chinese culture. And even one of our students, which is a Hong Kong-born Chinese Hakka person, reiterated it to us only recently. And he said, yeah, this is common practice in Chinese martial arts. Like the Sifu never, ever gives out everything. Always holds something back right to the end. Part of Chinese culture. And actually, good question, if you guys have heard of this or you are, you know the Chinese culture or you are Chinese and you've seen this in your past, just drop us a comment and tell us what your thoughts are.
Or if you've experienced it. Like if you've been and trained somewhere because this is a common practice across a lot of Chinese systems.
Yeah, the worst thing about it is, let's say you train for 20 years or 30 years and you put your blood, sweat, tears and life into something, and then the teacher then decides not to give you the whole system or doesn't give you stuff. That's really would be devastating for people. So this is why I've decided to go the route we've gone, which is to spread this system far and wide, and not to hold back. When we start teaching online, which is coming soon, the idea is not to hold back. We want to pass this system on for more generations. It's a beautiful system. It's going to take a long time to do all this filming.
It's a big endeavor. It's a big feat.
It's going to take forever to film all this stuff because there's so much there. But
heaps.
We're determined to do it. And look,
But it's not just that too. I think like a part of the reason for doing that as well, Sifu, forgive me, as you've said in class, is that systems can't survive. Because we've already seen it. There's a generational loss. Certain things get lost. Because there just wasn't enough time, or the right person wasn't there for long enough for things to be passed on to.
Chinese martial arts systems have lost a lot of their internal and high-level parts of their system because of this. So the older the system, basically the more it's lost. We're pretty lucky with our system because it came from the Shaolin Temple, and it's only around about 200 years old. So I'm the 7th generation, which means there's been 6 lots of Sifu before me, and I'm the 7th generation of Sifu. I'm going to put a timeline up there, a lineage, so you can see the lineage of this system and see where I fit in at number 7. And this lineage has been written up by my Grandmaster NCK, and I'll pop that up now. So, it's 7 generations. And guess what? I don't know if we've spoken about this before in another podcast, but Chow, which is the person who founded this system, there's a really famous quote that's been remembered through the 6 generations and been passed on, where he believed, before he died, he believed this system would only last 7 generations. Because of its complexity, because of its size, because of how much work goes into getting this system correct, he believed 7 generations. And that's me, guys. And again, this is another push for me to go, let's try not to discredit Chow in any way, but let's try to beat that.
We have new technology now. We have new ways of spreading information. So, and it doesn't mean that, everything is necessarily going to be spread because there's a lot. And traditionally it's always been it's an oral tradition, as in it's passed down person to person, spoken, taught, person to person, which is the other difficulty.
There's no substitute for a teacher to a student training. There's no substitute. We're going to teach it online, and hopefully we're going to back that up. Not hopefully, we are going to back that up with seminars, with various classes, online classes, and also classes in person, where you'll be able to train with us, touch our hands, feel the martial art. We'll get to those sort of levels. And this is going to be something that we aspire to pass on to many, 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 many people.
100%. And it deserves it. The system deserves it.
It's such a good system, it deserves it in many ways. Health benefits, strength benefits. Strength, when I talk strength, I'm talking strength of body. So your physical, not lifting weight strength, but you'll get that sort of strength as well, but physical bone strength, tendon strength, the ability to, at an older age, do things that you used to do when you were young and still do them when you're old.
And that most other people can't do at those sort of ages. They just can't.
Now, the old saying is, use it or you'll lose it.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. If you don't use your body, you'll start seizing up. Now, this system goes even a step further, where you're not only using it, you're training the various joints and bones and muscular system and connecting tissues and making them stronger. So all your we call your white tissue, bone, tendon,
fascia, tendons,
tendon,
joints,
ligament. Yep. This is what we call white tissue. So this system has a beautiful, but not a beautiful, but many beautiful ways of developing the white tissue in your body to become tougher,
100%.
to become stronger, to become more malleable and more flexible.
And to really have that
and to
longevity.
last. Yeah, to have longevity. Obviously, you've got to back that up with healthy living.
Yeah.
Um,
And training accordingly.
Yep, training accordingly. It also works the red tissue.
Yep.
But just a little bit differently to normal Western style working. The red tissue, like this table, is your muscular system. Okay, it just has a different setup on the muscular system. And the reason why is because we're trying to connect the entire muscular system together. So a smaller person can get maximum effectiveness, speed, and power by joining multiple muscles together, as well as the skeletal and the strong tendons that join all this stuff together, so that you get the maximum amount of power possible out of your body.
So you can leverage all of that.
Yeah, without having to do a big running punch or a big flying punch.
Or to have to go to the gym heaps and pack on a heap of muscle to try and increase.
But then your flexibility and your movement is less.
Yeah.
Like the bigger your muscles, then you're not as fast and your flexibility is less. So there's a fine line between...
And we've seen that with some of the people we've trained with in the past.
We've seen that many times.
A few bodybuilders that have
There's such a fine line between your muscular structure and the ability to move fast, and then the ability not just to use one muscle like your shoulder or your bicep or your chest, but to join them together in beautiful unison, including your legs and your structure, to the extent, this is where we have to get to, this is one of the last points, to the extent where your body doesn't move, only your hand to create maximum power to the end of your hand and fingertips. That's like the higher level of training this martial art. So it's invisible. We call it invisible. It means you can create so much power into your fingertips or your hand with no movement from your body. It's hard to do.
It's really hard. And there's not a lot of demonstrations out there of it. There's a couple of demonstrations. NCK has a couple of demonstrations at a high level where he's showing that sort of stuff.
It's hard to see.
It is.
It's easy to feel and be demonstrated on and show. It's hard to see on a video. I've thought about doing various demonstrations of it, but it's really, really difficult to see. I will do some in the future, but this power is just difficult for someone to see. Anyway, you've got to feel it. When you feel it, you'll be like, holy crap.
Yeah. Oh, anyway. It's unlike, well, that's why I'm training it.
Yeah. So, okay, that's a really big loaded question. There's probably more we can talk about.
On that topic,
the Chow and why it's been a bit more secretive than most other martial arts and a bit more held back. And we're hoping to change that. I've already noticed it already, haven't you?
Oh, yeah.
The more I'm not saying I'm the person or we're the people that do it, but there's been people putting out videos on Chow for years. And then we've come along and we've started putting out a whole bunch of videos. And then other people have been putting up a whole bunch of videos. And then more and more people are doing it. And what did I say to you?
Build it and they will come.
No, but yes, I said build it and they will come. But also,
it inspires other people to get the message out there.
Yeah, like the more people, this is a good thing. The more people that put stuff out there on Chow, the better. Not hold it all back and only I can show. No,
it's the best thing for the system.
Yes, the more
you
people
want to keep
that
something alive,
are showing, the more people that are putting stuff up, the more people that are spreading this system. Not just us, not just this person or that or this person. More and more people, and there's I think a flow-on effect. You know? And more and more people will get the courage to go. Well, maybe I can put some stuff up. Yeah. Yes, you can. The more, the better.
Yeah.
It's not a competition, is it?
Yeah. No. Well, even in the comments, that people are putting on some of the posts, it's like they've got different experiences.
Yep.
You're invited. Put up what you do.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm replying to every single post.
Yeah.
Anytime you comment, and we had the last thing had like 300 plus comments.
Yeah.
I replied to every single one, and pretty much within minutes, if not within the hour, if not within the day.
Yeah.
I got to everybody, and it was hard work because it went viral, and I was getting clicks and messages, and members were growing fast.
Ding, 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 ding.
You know, we've been on 2,000 members for years. And I haven't been posting that much. Just the last 12 months, I've started posting more and more and more about the style. And then we decided to go online. And now we've gone from 2,000 to 4,000 members in a week.
Yeah.
Maybe a week and a half.
Yeah, barely.
Barely a week and a half. And it's fantastic. Again, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you
thanks,
to everybody for following us. We're going to keep giving you guys more and more and more. And then if you love this style, yes, it can be hard to learn it because there's not many people that teach it around the world.
Yeah.
So this is why we go online. Online, we will teach it step by step, movement by movement, technique by technique. And every time you reach a new level, we'll explain more and more. And you'll learn more and more as you go. We'll keep doing podcasts and talking about it. We'll keep putting up videos and showing you where it can go to and where this martial art can lead. And we'll have special guests.
Yeah.
We'll do interviews with a whole bunch of different people in this martial art and others. And you'll learn as much as you possibly can learn. That's the idea of it anyway. Yeah. All right, what have you got for me, Damon?
Next question. So.
Next question. Hit me. Okay.
So, there's so much that we could talk about. But.
Let's get back to the beginning.
Yeah, let's go back to the beginning. And I think it would be good for people to have a bit more of a understanding of where you came from, because you came through Malcolm Su. And for the people that don't know, the Su brothers, they were sort of, were they the first to bring it back to Australia?
Okay, well, let's go right back. Okay.
Why not?
Obviously, we're in Australia. I'm now living on the Gold Coast. I used to live in Brisbane most of my life, for 40 years. We moved down the Gold Coast when I turned 40 and had a family and opened a school. Same year. Had a family, opened the school and moved down here all in that first year of moving to the Gold Coast. So it was a big change of life. All right, let's go right back to the beginning. All right. Now, if you go before my time, there was a person by the name of Nat Yuen. He's obviously now a doctor. He came to Australia in I'm going to say 1950, late 50s. Let's just say late 50s. I won't pick a date. The people who train through that lineage would know the exact dates of when he came. I'm going to say late 50s. I'm going to say that. Now, he came to Australia to study at UQ, University of Queensland in Brisbane, to become a doctor, a Western doctor. And then his plan was then to go back to Hong Kong and open up a clinic. I think he's retired now. I'm not too sure, I don't follow it. But he had a clinic, a Western clinic in Hong Kong since that time. Now, he had, while he was studying at UQ, so he must have been studying at UQ, you must be what, 18, 19?
Young, yeah.
18, 19-year-old. From my understanding, from talking to the Grand Master who taught Nat Yuen, he trained for about 12 months, maybe 18 months, somewhere around there, full time, is what I was told. And that's when he came to, so in his teenage years, so what's that, 17, 18, 19, somewhere around there, and then came to Australia. Now, to earn some extra money while he was in Australia, he started teaching this Kung Fu at the University of Queensland. In the, I think the basketball arena. And a couple of his students were Malcolm Su and Henry Su. Yeah, but Malcolm Su was first, as he tells me the story.
Well, he was the older brother, wasn't he?
He was the older brother. He was a few years older. Henry Su was a lot younger. But Malcolm Su first, and obviously Malcolm Su must have introduced Henry Su to it at some stage. He would have been here for, how long is a university degree? 4, 5, 6 years?
Yeah, depending on the degree.
Yeah, back
3,
then
4,
would have been
5
maybe
years,
5 or 6 years to become a doctor. And then he left. So there was 6 years of hard, solid training that he trained with Malcolm Su and the other students that were there that all trained back in those days, back in the early 60s. A couple of times they'd travel back to Hong Kong back in those days and were introduced to the Grand Master at the time and Grand Master NCK and Ip Chi Kung, and they were taught by these people for a couple of weeks at a time. back in those days. And then he went back to Hong Kong, and Malcolm and Henry started a school in Brisbane. I think 1963, if I remember correctly, was when the first school was started in Brisbane, and only 2 Chinese. So that's where it sort of started in Brisbane. Now, where I come along, I wasn't even born back in 1963. So funnily enough, I do remember that I did go along to Malcolm Su Kung Fu School when I was 7 or 8 years old. I went with my older brother. I was 7 or 8. My older brother's 3 years old. He would have been 10, 11 or so. And we went in and we did a class, and there were so many people, and we were like these little kids, and there were like heaps of adults, and we were just smacking pads. That was the lesson. Yeah, we were just whacking these pads. I remember it almost as clear as day, even at that age. And that's it. We didn't go back. We lived in Kedron in Brisbane, and Malcolm Su Kung Fu School was in Fortitude Valley. And back in those days, that was a long way to go.
Yeah.
And our parents weren't going to drive us there. We were too young. We did one lesson and we never went back. That was done. So then I hit high school, 13 years old, and I got into my first fight in high school. So,
as you do.
Yeah. And if you're out there, Heath Weller, I remember you. We became friends later. Anyway, we were playing football or something on the oval, and I must have got knocked or hit or whatever, or maybe I hit him, I don't know, during the game, tackle, whatever, and it turned into a fight. And then he wanted to fight me. I've never been in a fight before, ever. It was my first fight ever, grade 8 in high school, and all the students made a circle around us.
As they do.
And I didn't know how to hold my hands up. I don't know what I was doing. And as I put my hands up like this, I got a shove from behind from one of the kids. And as I got a shove from behind, I got a punch in the face. And I was like, that was my first punch in the face in a fight. And I was like, crap. Anyway, so then I was a bit more careful, and I made sure I put my hands up a bit more. And I think I was 13. I think I closed my eyes and swung my arm at this guy, and I clobbered him. whacked him in the corner of the eye. Down he went crying, by the way, grade 8, he was crying. My hand was so sore, throbbing, I remember, for hours afterwards. And
No conditioning yet.
I'd done nothing. That was my first fight. And I later became friends with this guy. And anyway, after that, I told my older brother. And my older brother was a fighter. And he loved fighting. I'd watched him fight just in car parks and stuff since I was young. You know, I don't know how, but he'd just get into fights. So he was a fighter. And I told him about the fight I got in, and he said to me, you have to learn this Kung Fu. He must have just started this Kung Fu, or maybe, because I didn't know about it. He goes, I'm learning. This is what he said to me directly. I was 13, he was 16. He goes, I'm learning the deadliest martial art on the planet, and you need to come and learn this. And since that day, I went along to the class. He was in the advanced class with the seniors, with the older kids, and I was with the younger kids. Same thing, pads, hitting the pads, whacking these pads at this school. It was in a suburb called Luckwich in Brisbane, little hall, and I was hooked, loved it. We did that for that was November 1985. I forget the date, obviously I was too young, but I do remember it was after school had finished. So it was November, just after school had finished, and we'd go there, we'd train twice a week. Did that for 3 months, and then something happened and he had to close down. Something happened with the hall and he had to close down. And then obviously I wanted to keep doing this martial art. So I don't know where to go. And my brother said, we've got a guy who actually went to our school. He was a grade 12er, so he would have been 17.
Yep.
I was 13. He was teaching my second cousin, a man by the name of Mario Panisi. His name was Mitchell Campion. He was an ex-student of Malcolm Su. And he was teaching in a little hall streets away from my home. Ride my bike, go there, train, never miss a lesson, do this grinding arm exercise that would just kill me. people would come and go. Never one would stay. I was the only one that stayed. I ended up being the last student. I trained there for about a year, and he opened up the school, and obviously he had to pay rent, and people would come and they would just leave. They would come and they couldn't handle this grinding arm and these tough exercises that we were doing and hitting each other's hands and all this sort of stuff. And I was determined. I was in love with this martial art at 13, and then trained there for a year. And then he closed down because he couldn't afford the hall. So he started training me privately at his home. So I'd go to his house. He was maybe 5 kilometers away. I'd ride my bike. I'd be stuffed. It was a long way to ride. I'd be stuffed. I'd train at his house. I'd throw up.
Yeah.
I would throw up. He'd train me that hard privately that I would throw up. And I've forgotten what he charged me back then. Maybe it was $20 a lesson or whatever it was. And yeah, one time he trained me so hard I threw up. But it made me fitter, made me stronger, made me better. And then he was telling me that he's not going to do that anymore. He's got a job. He's for school. Obviously, school finished. He's getting a job. He was done teaching the Kung Fu. He had no students apart from me, and I was still keen. So then it's like, where do I go? Looked up the phone directory. Obviously, he told me to go to Malcolm Sue because that's where he learned.
Yeah.
And Malcolm Sue, I rang him up. I said, I want to come and learn. They said, we are at Mount Gravatt now. We've just moved from the valley to Mount Gravatt. I was at Kedron. Kedron is on the north side of Brisbane. Mount Gravatt is far south side of Brisbane. I was 14 years old. So I went there for a look with my mum took me. She drove me all that way. It's an hour, maybe 40 minutes to an hour drive, depends on traffic. Said hello, introduced to this guy. This guy was called Philip James, lovely man. And man, he was so nice to me. And I was like, oh, and it was so professional, set up so well. And I thought, this is it, this is the place. And signed up straight away. My mother paid for the first 3 months in advance, and then it was up to me.
Yep.
Obviously, she couldn't take me every time. It was minimum twice a week. Minimum, you can go as many times as you want, but your 2 classes were twice a week. But you could turn up any night you wanted. So I got a job, I started working, and I'd catch a bus from Kedron to the valley, and then a bus from the valley to Mount Gravatt, and then back home, 14 years old, grade 9, grade 10, grade 11, grade 12.
Wow.
I'd be getting home at 11 o'clock at night time.
Wow.
I'd be leaving home at 5 o'clock, doing my training, getting home at 11 o'clock, and then going to school the next day. So that was my introduction. I stayed with Malcolm Sue Kung Fu School for 9 years. I became one of their top instructors. I ran the Brisbane school for them. I ran the Perth school for them. I, over that time, doubled and tripled their numbers of students. You know, they always had maybe 70 students. And when I really became of age and became good at the Kung Fu and became good at teaching and became good at explaining, the schools grew exponentially. I went to Perth first and grew that school exponentially with the help of all the other instructors that were there. Of course, it wasn't just me. But I was in charge of enrollment and joining people to the school and teaching all the beginners. And then I'd hand those beginners after the first few months, hand them over to the next instructor, and then I'd take the next intake of students. I did the same thing at both places. So I started teaching at 15 in my backyard, and I was teaching my cousin and a couple of friends, even before I became an instructor for Malcolm Sue. And I started my instructor's course with Malcolm Sue at 16, and I was a trainee instructor. So I was helping classes, like you did when you were of age, you know, oh, not age, but
when I started, yeah,
training age, you know? So yeah, I became a fully qualified teacher at age 17 in 1990, January 1990. And there was a ceremony and that whole thing with Malcolm Sue, his son Gwaine Sue, all the other instructors that were there above me. So some formative years. I was there from 1987 January, I think, till about June 1995.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
So that's pretty extensive. And especially all the travel from such a young age, public transport, long hours.
This just shows you how keen
Yeah.
I was.
Yeah.
And how much I loved it. And as soon as I started training under Philip James, I said, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
You know? Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. We
Yeah.
talked about this, didn't
Yeah,
we?
yeah.
So anyway, that's the young teenage years history. Many, many stories along the way. Maybe we do another podcast and talk about different stories, etc.
Yep.
Heaps of stories, heaps of people to mention and to thank, obviously, over the years. I trained there until 1995. And then after that, I won't talk about why I left. Let's just say I left and I didn't have a place to go. You know, I'd been training for altogether for maybe 11 years and I had nowhere to go. And I looked around. I ended up doing boxing at a PCYC. You know? Then I was introduced to a student of mine from Malcolm Sue came and saw me and he said, we have met this guy who's just got back from Hong Kong. His name is Paul Brennan. He'd been training in Hong Kong for a few years and he's bringing back the original Chow to Brisbane and he's 10 times tougher than anything that we've ever seen. He's tough, he's fast, he's powerful. They were raving.
Yeah, wow.
And I'd always adored looking at the old photos of Ipswich. Because I knew our style that I was learning came from Chow.
Yeah.
So I was always put off learning the traditional Chow because the Sus would always say that traditional Chow is like Tai Chi. So I had no idea. I was like, okay. But then, you know, I'm in a space where I had nowhere to train. And then I'd heard of this person and these ex-students of mine who were at Malcolm Sue said, we're going to go and train with them. Do you want to come? I said, definitely want to train. I definitely want to get back into training. You know, I'd missed it for 12 months. The boxing wasn't enough. And so they'd arranged a meeting. Paul Brennan wanted to meet me first before he included me into his school. And this is before he opened the school.
Yeah, wow. So he would have been fresh then, like just came back.
Fresh off the boat from Hong Kong.
Yep.
Came back to live and wanted to open a school. I was being convinced to open a school from these guys. There's about 4 or 5 of them who convinced him to open a school because his Kung Fu was so powerful, so amazing, you know, they couldn't get over it. They'd been training at Malcolm Sue for years, same as me, but I'd been obviously a bit longer. And because I was an instructor and they weren't, Paul Brennan wanted to see me to see what I was like.
Yeah.
Because Malcolm Sue's students were known for being a bit overconfident and arrogant, etc.
Yeah, wow.
So I saw him, I had a chat with him. And then after I had a good chat with him, he said, look, I want to see your Sambo Jin, your first form. And I'm like, I haven't done this for a while. He's like, no problems, just do it slowly if you want to. Just show me, I want to see what your level is. So I showed him Sambo Jin, and that was it. He allowed me into his school when it opened. It opened probably a month later in, I think it was June 1996.
Yeah, wow.
I think it was June 1996, if I remember correctly. He opened the school. So I had 1 year of boxing training. That was the longest break I've ever had in Kung Fu training, in Chow training in my life. But I still trained.
Yeah.
Trained the boxing.
Yeah.
So that insight was invaluable as well, because I had a lot of sparring with boxing. I'd already been doing Kung Fu for 11 years and was now doing the boxing. The Kung Fu bled out into the boxing.
Yeah. It would have been like a Kung Fu boxer, essentially. Yeah.
Well, look, the guy who was training me, and this is not to say anything braggadocious.
Yeah.
Correct word?
Yeah.
But he said, I think you're going to become a Golden Gloves champion. is what he said to me.
Yeah, wow. So you were prepping for that? Like,
That's what he was prepping
yeah.
me for. You know, I was this little golden boy.
Yeah.
I was fast. I had a fast jab. I moved well and good footwork.
Yep.
And that's what he said. And
So, sorry, Steve, but just quickly, even at like a low level of understanding for what the system is traditionally, how the system normally goes, it benefited other things like the boxing.
Let me put it this way. I had trained Kung Fu, Tong Long Kung Fu with Malcolm Su and the guys before, which you've already heard about, 11 years. In that 11 years, because I was a teenager, I had a lot of fights.
Yeah.
I'd use the martial art a lot. And
you don't need to go into that and incriminate any.
No, look, well, look, it's Chinese custom and Chinese culture not to talk about fights because it's bad luck to talk about the fights that you had with the Kung Fu. So we won't talk about the fights just out of respect for the Chinese culture. And it's bad luck. You don't talk about your conquest. This is not sport martial art. This is fighting. This is fighting on the streets and it's ugly and it's disgusting and it's not, I don't like it. But at that age,
consequences.
There's consequences. Yeah, I was looking over my shoulder for years after various fights that I had. And I had a lot of fights and I wanted to be a teacher. I was young. I was invested in this Malcolm Su Kung Fu school and being a fighter. But I was the type of fighter who would protect people, I believe. If someone else was causing trouble, I'd be the first to jump in and help. If my friends got in trouble, I'd jump in and help them, and I'd protect them.
Which is also one of the tenets of Kung Fu as well.
Yeah, protect people who are have less ability. That's what I believe from the time. I did get into a lot of fights and probably not all of them were the perfect, benevolent protection thing. But in my mind, I don't think I ever went out and picked a fight. It was always, I finished a fight or I protected someone. That was always my main focus. I don't like fights. I don't like fighting. But if I have to, I will. And if I do, it's gruesome. And
you have to.
There's a few people that I still know to this day that have seen me fight. And, half the fights I don't remember because it's too fast.
Yeah.
It's over and done with really fast. I don't muck around. And this system doesn't muck around. It's a really fearsome fighting system. There's no mucking around. And I fought some well-trained people in various martial arts over the years. And I've sparred many thousands and thousands of people as well. But yeah, I was young, I was impressionable. I wanted to prove myself. I probably cocky as well. Loved the Kung Fu, wanted to teach, wanted to make sure when I taught, I knew what I was talking about as well. So if there was a chance to use this martial art to protect someone, I'd jump in and do it because I wanted to prove that this martial art was the best. I've always been like that. Now I'm older, there's no such thing as the best. It's the best person. It's the best martial art for that person. It's something you love, something you can do well. This is a really, really amazing martial art and has heaps of good benefits for a lot of people and is a really good fighting style. And in my mind, it's the best. In someone else's mind, might be something different. I don't know. In my mind, it's the best. And it's always done the right thing by me. Health, self-defense wise, strength wise, strength of mind, strength of character, etc. So anyway, to go back to the story, he started the school in June, Paul Brennan. He then became my Sifu. And I trained diligently. I didn't want to teach. I'd been teaching for so many years. I taught at Malcolm Su 5 or 6 years full time. That means like 3, 4 classes, 5 classes a day. Sometimes I'd teach a 6 a.m. class and I'd finish at 11 o'clock at night time teaching.
Yeah, wow.
So sometimes I teach 5, 6 times a day. So I was teaching a lot. And then when I did the boxing, I was just training happy. I was actually happy. I was happier. And then I was young, And then with my Sifu Paul Brennan, I just wanted to train. I told him that from the beginning. I just love training. I just want to train. Now, he then proceeded to teach me the traditional Chow system correctly. And let me just say that this system is, the real traditional system is goddamn hard and difficult. And I was black and blue for years, legs, arms, body. You know, it was painful training. It was painful, but I really wanted it still. I started with him when I was 24. I started with him in January 1996. I was 24 years old. June 1996, I was 24 years old. Still keen as mustard. And then the stuff he was showing me was out of this world. It wasn't stuff I'd seen before. And
because this was like he'd just come back from Hong Kong. You were there from day dot when the school opened.
He was at his toughest.
Yep.
He was amazing. He was fast. He was powerful. He was tough. And
it's the real system. You were finally sort of learning the real system.
You want to hear a really funny story?
Yeah,
I don't even know if I should share this.
We can edit it out. I'll hear it.
Okay, I told
cut there.
I told my Sifu this. When I was at Malcolm Sue, they got a phone call from a guy by the name of Paul Brennan. And I remember this. And he said he's training in Hong Kong and he's about to come back to Brisbane and he's going to open a school up when he comes back. And he wanted to see all the Tonglong people in Brisbane. He wanted to talk with them to see if there's any problems. You know, if you have a problem with me, let's sort it out man to man. And he was going to visit, I think he did visit a lot of schools. And he said, so then they said, hey, if this guy comes in, bash him. That's what they said. They said, if this guy comes into the school, you need to bash him. He thinks he's good. He thinks he knows the traditional style. While I was there, I must have left shortly after that because I never got to see him come in. Thank God that he did not come in while I was there because I was so overconfident that I probably would have did what they told me to do, like a good little minion, and I would have got my ass handed to me on a platter. When I first met Paul Brennan, man, I was in awe of his ability. I'm like, I've been training, I was good. I was 24, I was at the top of my game, I was fit, I was strong. You know, and I'd been in lots of fights and unbeaten, and I thought I was amazing. I thought I was amazing. And then I met him and trained under him, and I was like, holy shit, holy crap. This martial art is immeasurable with where it can go. And
that's what everybody says.
I've told him this story a few years into my training, and we had a good laugh about it. And I told him, I said, thank God that I didn't, that you didn't come in while I was there. So, funny story, funny anecdote anyway. So our paths did not cross while I was there. And I trained with my Sifu and under my Sifu and weekly and as often as I could, and we did extra training as much as I could. And we were a band of brothers. We traveled to Hong Kong. We put our heart and soul into our training for years. I was with my Sifu for nearly 30 years. 30 years.
It's a long time.
So now all my training altogether is 41 years. So my main instructor throughout my entire life, my main instructor is Sifu Paul Brennan. So gratitude has to go to him for teaching me this stuff. Has to. And always will be there. Yeah. Until I die. So 30 years I'd been with my Sifu, and through that time, my Sifu first got taught by Ip Chi Kung, and which is the son of the Grandmaster Ip Soi. And we got taught the Ip Chi Kung version of the Chow Ga, which was amazing. Ip Chi Kung can be commended for spreading this system worldwide. He spread it to Hungary, he spread it to England, he spread it to Australia through teaching people like Paul Withrod, through teaching various Sifus in Hungary, and through teaching in Australia my Sifu Paul Brennan. So he taught them as much as he could until there wasn't anything else to teach. And then my Sifu clamored for more, he wanted more. And he was introduced by Ip Chi Kung to Grandmaster NCK. And he told my Sifu that he can teach him the higher levels of the system. So that's what ended up happening. So the first 15 years with my Sifu was everything that he'd been taught by Ip Chi Kung. And then somewhere in the early 2000s, or 2008, 9, 10, somewhere around there, we were introduced to the Grandmaster NCK. And so for the next 15 years after that, we were taught under his Grandmastership. And under his Grandmastership, we learned and studied and was taught through my Sifu Paul Brennan the high level parts of this system. And that's amazing. People don't understand that part of it. It's almost like a different system, but not. The power progresses, the movement is different, the understanding is deeper, the body connection is bigger. There is so much more to learn that it's actually amazing. So I spoke to my Sifu a few years ago, like this, one-on-one like this, and I said, you know, I think we've been very lucky in the way that we've been taught over the years, the way he's been taught, and then the way he passed it on to us. Because the two highest level masters under Yip Soi were the Grandmaster and Gatekeeper Ip Chi Kung, and which was his son, and his son-in-law, the Grandmaster NCK, which was his son-in-law who married his eldest daughter, who was taught the entire system very early on when he opened his first school, had the first grandson. There's a whole story which we can talk about at a later date in regards to that.
And we're lucky too that Grandmaster NCK was so particular in the recording of everything.
As well, yes, he was. So we have a lot of the footage from the past. We've been taught a lot of the high level forms. We've been corrected in other forms as well. So look, it's been an amazing journey. I had a really good start and a foundation with the Malcolm Su. Then to learn from my Sifu, who was a tough teacher, like he was so tough on us. Like he broke most students, Most students didn't stay. If you stayed longer than 5 years, there was something wrong mentally with you. So you're just a sucker for punishment, you know? Because it's a hard system. And but he has a knack to make you make or break you. You know, if you don't break, you become really good at Kung Fu. And he was really specific. Like I've got to say, the first decade of his teaching, he was so specific with every little millimeter of how you moved. Every little detail had to be perfect. And that was amazing as well. And so, yeah, I think through my career, I've learned from a lot of different martial art masters of the same system. So glad that my journey has led me to this because, you know, we have to give credit where credit is due to the people who deserve that credit.
100%.
You know, Yip Soi made this system famous in Hong Kong, and his reputation preceded him, which meant
It was formidable.
he was respected worldwide for his martial art. His son Ip Chi Kung spread this system to the Western world and traveled and slept in people's spare bedrooms and taught this stuff in London and Hungary and Australia. And he has to be commended because he made some really tough teachers. He made Paul Withrod a really tough teacher. He made my Sifu Paul Brennan a really tough martial artist. You know, and the Hungary boys as well. The people in Hungary and Budapest made them tough too. And then that was a beautiful foundation of this system, to have it done correct. And then to learn off the Grandmaster NCK through my Sifu and through the Grandmaster and our trips to Hong Kong. The way he taught my Sifu, the advanced part of this system, and the way that flowed through to us. The first time I met and Grandmaster NCK started teaching me, and he started showing me where this system goes, man, I was so excited because the penny dropped. I sort of wondered whether there was more and how much more powerful you can get and faster, and where the system went to. And then he pointed all those things out. And he pointed out where this system goes and what was lacking and where we needed to train and what we needed to do. And obviously my teacher, Sifu Paul Brennan, did the same with us. Grandmaster NCK was very specific with him to teach him properly. And he deserves it. He's put that hard work in and the years of training in. And he was very specific with him. And then my teacher was very specific with us. I was just the longest serving student, last man standing, let's say. The one who could hack it the most. Yeah, I was the longest serving student of my Sifu. Nearly 30 years.
Credit where credit's due too, Sifu. Like, there's a thing that people talk about, like having a martial mind, which also makes better students. They have the capacity to actually understand, and you clearly have that.
You have to have a martial IQ. I was very lucky because I started so young. So, I've just developed that over the years. I was told by also many teachers, to be a good fighter, you've got to be pretty smart, pretty intelligent. You don't have to be a bookworm, but you have to have good street smart, good common sense.
But not just a thug too, which a lot of people associate.
Not just a bruiser. You have to look deep into the system and work stuff out. You have to work stuff out, and then you trial and error. Like, if you don't train enough, you won't work it out. If you haven't been taught correctly, you won't work it out. You won't work out where the power comes in, or not even just the power, because it's not just about power. It's about connection, it's about speed, it's about timing, it's about distance, it's about sensitivity, it's about mental strength, there's so many things that this system progresses to.
Multifaceted, yeah.
Huge. And the advanced levels are beautiful, guys. If you ever get the chance to learn the advanced stuff of this system from the Grandmaster NCK while he's still alive, it's amazing. In the future, I'll pass it on. You've learned from him some of the advanced stuff.
Phenomenal.
You've learned from my Sifu as well, the advanced stuff. There's beautiful stuff to be learned, and I would recommend any Chow person who's had any training in this system to look deeper, look for it, ask questions, ask the question. Can I learn this? Can I go to Hong Kong, or can I learn this from someone? I would say if you're in Brisbane, go to my Sifu school that's still running in Newmarket in Brisbane. He's still teaching. I'm still teaching to this day, which is over 30 years of teaching, which is a long time to teach. A long time. So that's what I would recommend. I'm no longer taking in new students, but I'm going to teach online. You can't get this system. This is the disclaimer. I might finish on this because we can do a part 2.
This is a good, yeah.
We can do a part 2 of this in the future. So I might finish on this, and this is going to be the disclaimer. You cannot wholeheartedly learn this system properly and correctly online. That's the disclaimer. You can learn the superficial parts of this system. The techniques.
You can learn a lot.
You can learn a lot.
You can learn a lot.
You can learn a lot, yes. You can learn a lot of stuff, even better if you can find a partner to train with. When I start teaching online, if you can find a partner to work with, even better. You can do a lot by yourself. You can do a lot. But you won't get the true essence of the system unless you train with a partner and unless you have a Sifu to teach you personally. So the online system is for those people who can't get to a Sifu.
Or can't get to one yet.
Can't get to one yet, can't get to a school, will love the system, want to learn it, and then that might be the catalyst for them to come and do a seminar. and learn it hands-on.
Yep.
Or go and search for a school and see if you can do a visit for 2 weeks or 3 weeks while you visit.
But then they also won't go to those things or start their training, as it were, hand to hand with the person at level 0. They'll start somewhere.
They'll have something. Look, not everyone is lucky. I think my journey has been very lucky. Someone told me once, luck is labor under correct knowledge. And that gives you luck. So I'm going to say my journey has been very lucky. There's been a lot of labor in between, and I've got on a lot of correct knowledge. And at the right time, I was in the right place. When I was too young for this system, because before 20s, you're too young to learn this system properly because you're not fully developed. And your bones and your ligaments, you can't do all this conditioning.
It's really hard.
It will damage the body.
And you've got to be really diligent to
need
stick
to be,
with it.
You need to be an adult to learn this system correctly. So to learn this system from the Malcolm Sue guys while I was young, perfect, because we didn't have the bone conditioning. We didn't have a lot of this esoteric stuff that's taught in the traditional Chow system. So when I was 24, I was of age to learn that stuff. And it's tough, man. It's tough. And it's plays on your mind because it's the toughest training I've ever done in my life. And
but that's real Kung Fu.
It's real Kung Fu. It's tough. Most people can't do it. You know, our school had a revolving door. My Sifu used to talk about it all the time, how sometimes people walk in and they say, I just need to get some fresh air. They'd walk out the door like after 20 minutes and you'd never see them again.
We had that a couple of times
we've had
on the
that
Gold
before,
Coast as
on
well.
the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
This is not a school that's good for commercialization. It's not a system that's good for big numbers. This is a tough system and it needs a certain type of person who wants it bad enough, who's willing to put up with the torture that goes with it. And the torture doesn't last forever.
No.
You know, you get to a certain point and the torture is actually enjoyable. You know, some things take 12 months, some things take 2 years, some things take 5 years. But you get certain things, after you get past that hump of pain, then it becomes really enjoyable and you miss it and you want it more. So, look, this online school is to teach this system, spread it worldwide so that you guys can then decide, okay, I love it and I need to find myself a good teacher, or I love it and I'm going to keep going and doing this course and I'm going to attend seminars when I can, and or I love it. I may never get the true understanding and training of this system, but I'm going to get as much as you're going to get as much as you can without going to a school and learning from a Sifu straight under a direct Sifu. And that's the best we can offer, unfortunately. That's the best we can offer.
But even at that level,
you're still going to learn heaps. You're still going to get good. You're still going to be able to use it.
Not just all those things, it's still effective.
Still effective, still good for your health, still good for your power, still good for your ability. Wonderful techniques, wonderful way of defending yourself. Still usable. Still very usable.
And something you can do for the rest of your life.
Yeah. And grab a partner if you can and train with a partner, and even better for you. And whenever you get an opportunity, even if it's once a year, ring up any school that does Chow Tonglong and ask if you can join a class for a couple of weeks while you're there. And do that any chance you get if you're doing the online stuff. We're going to start this online filming this week. We've done some test runs and we're going to start filming classes so that you guys can learn this stuff. We're going to probably bring it out later this year or early next year by the time we finish. There are going to be 24 levels. Each level will have a form or 2 forms. Each level will have a weapon form. That's just the form side of things. They'll also have a whole bunch of techniques and combinations to learn.
Training exercises.
There's going to be a whole bunch of training exercises to learn. There's going to be a whole bunch of, in the beginning, breathing exercises, and then later internal exercises to learn. And they will progress as your level progresses. You'll learn more advanced stuff as you progress. It'll be simple and easy to learn from and progress through, and nothing will be held back. We will teach the entire system. I will also, at the same time, document pretty much as much of the system as I possibly can and have got to show, which is a large portion of the system. And hopefully into the future, My Grandmaster NCK will be gracious enough to teach me the last little bits of this system, and I'll document that for future generations. Obviously for my students first, my direct students, and then they can pass it on to people as well. And we keep this going. We keep this system alive. It deserves it, and we keep passing it on, and we have more generations of people learning it for health, for self-protection, for self-motivation, mental strength, you know, it's an antidepressant. You train, you don't, I've never been depressed in my life, not once. I started training when I was 13. Every time you train, it drives you, it picks you up, you know, it makes you a better human.
Having a bad day, train. Having a good day, train.
Yeah, train. If you train and you keep training, you will not get depressed. And there's so much to learn. Like you can go to the gym, it gets boring after I've done gym, you get bored. This system, I'm still yet to get bored. I've been doing this since I was 13 years old. I'm now 54 years old. And there are times I have good times, bad times, and everything in between, but I'm still discovering, I'm still learning, and I'm not getting bored. What martial art training system can do that for 40 plus years? Not many, I don't think. Not
many. There's very few things you can do for your entire life.
It's a massive system. It's massive, and there's so much to learn and to discover. You don't have to learn the entire system. You can get good at this system within 12 months. You can learn how to fight within a short period of time.
And there's a lot of people historically that got really good
in a short time.
In a short time, and also not with much material in terms of stuff they learned.
Yep.
And they were great fighters.
Just the techniques and the movements alone in the beginner's level of this system are very effective for fighting. And that's what you'll learn in the first level of this system. Stuff that you can actually use as long as you practice it. Like nothing, when you don't practice it, it's no good. You've got to practice, you know? So that's where we're heading. That's what we want to do. And then we'll see where that leads. If that leads to seminars and us traveling around the world holding seminars for people and helping, happy to do it. I'm looking for this to spread the system and to make it, make other people's lives as good as what mine has been. Mine has been beautiful. And so that's the idea. We want to spread this system. It will not be expensive to do online training. Yeah, it'll be very inexpensive to train. Enough to cover costs and to get the system out there for you guys to learn it. I want as many people as possible learning it, and you will learn quite a lot. What do you think?
Fantastic. It's an opportunity that's never been offered before, and to train traditionally like that, no one's ever had access to it before.
No. So I think this is going, there's a lot of people already that have trained in the past who may be, I don't know, maybe too old to train any longer, but love the Kung Fu and love to run through the movements and be reminded online. There's the people who can't go to a school anymore because they live too far away. I've got ex-students who can't train with me any longer.
Yeah, guys that have moved away.
They're waiting to get the online because they still want to train. They still want to learn. They just can't come to a school. And there are people who've never seen this style before who are interested and may want to learn it.
Yeah.
Well, a good introduction is online. And if you love it, find a way to learn it online, but also to go to a school whenever you get a chance. There's many, many people who can benefit from doing the online training.
100%.
We're going to have weapons, we're going to have forms, we're going to have two-person training drills, we're going to have strength training, we're going to have health training, breathing training, meditation. There's going to be the whole facet of martial arts involved in this online training. And I'm going to try and make it as simple as possible to learn. You're going to have to look at my ugly mug and listen to my voice a lot. How are you? But I'll try and make it more interesting for you, and we'll see how we go. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I can't wait. I think it sounds great. Yeah.
All right, so we're going to leave it here because this has gone over an hour and you guys are probably getting bored. Thanks for hosting me, even though I probably took over anyway, which is what I do.
That was the goal.
Yeah. Yeah, so look, if you've liked our content so far, check out our Facebook page, check out our YouTube channel. Our Facebook page is Chow Online, and our YouTube channel is Chow Mantis Online. So check them out, check out our videos, ask us questions, we answer everything. Every single question is answered on our Facebook and on our YouTube channel. And be prepared, get yourself ready. We're coming online. We're coming to a computer screen or a tablet or a phone near you. I start filming next week. So, and here we go. And I'll get them on as fast as we can. I've got to build the website. I've got to get the videos filmed, and then we'll get it out to you as soon as we possibly can so you can start. And I've already got people wanting to start already. I've been getting private messages, people emailing and asking when it starts. And thank you for the support. I appreciate it. I'll do my best to live up to what you're hoping for. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Yeah.
Here we go.
Here we go.
chowgaonline.com. Thanks, guys. We'll see you again next time. Like, subscribe, make a comment, post, say something, and tell your friends about the Chow podcast. This is Sifu Steven Parrella, seeing Damon Milne signing out. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. We'll see you again next podcast. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we waffle on too much?
Everybody was kung fu fighting. Those kids were fast as lightning. In fact, it was a little bit frightening, but they fought with expert timing. There were funky Chinamen from funky Chinatown. They were